It absolutely blew my mind, the answers I got from Nick Lewis when I asked him 3 questions. What do you think about over-the-range microwaves? How about open shelving and corner cabinets? Give me your thoughts on those. Couldn't believe what he said. Check it out.
Let me ask you the first one. Give us your thoughts, your opinions when it comes to the OTR.
You ignited a fire in me around how I feel about the OTR because I never really gave it a whole lot of thought. Obviously, your people have, and it's a hot topic. I just think I'm really curious to hear what you have to say because you're more of like, well, you're a kitchen designer, right? So this is like, I mean, I talk about a bunch of stuff on my channel, but kitchen is just a sort of one of many topics. Mm-hmm. I think that I don't like it. I think it's dated. I think it's dated advice to put it, and it's just such a wasted opportunity to use that space, which is just such an opportunity to create a focal point in your kitchen. It's such an opportunity to play with, like, I love a statement hood fan. You could go for something minimal too. Like mine is just very, very simple and clean and easy and whatever. It's like just a Miele like hidden fan. Like it's really, and then it's hidden. The venting is all just hidden behind some panel cabinetry, and I like that. But I also really love a statement fan. Like I think that's what I'm going to do in my next home. And I just think putting a microwave there, like, I don't know. I just feel like a microwave is just so old school. And like, I don't know if you're noticing this trend, but a lot of people just aren't putting microwaves in at all. Like they're just taking away microwaves completely because you don't need them. Or if they have the space, which was, ideal, they're putting microwaves in places that are a little bit more inconspicuous because I love paneling everything if I can. I'd panel every appliance that I possibly could, to be honest with you, unless it's like a really cool, funky one. Which a microwave never is. And so if I could hide it in like a butler's pantry, I would. I even actually have seen definitely becoming more common now is to hide it in the island, right? Because there's so much electrical being run through that island anyway, that hiding it, again, it's not the most ergonomic choice because, you're going down to like get your microwave because it's hidden in an island, but people aren't using their, they've got steam ovens and stuff now for a lot of these new builds or these renos. So they're not even really using the microwave as much. So like, why not just kind of hide it? Yes, it's not the most ergonomic best choice to put it in the island, but I think it's the most aesthetically pleasing because you're kind of hiding it, right? Like when you look at your big statement kitchen, you're looking at your gorgeous kitchen, it's like hidden underneath the island and you can't usually see it from the front, rather than your range, which is probably, hopefully, beautiful, or nice. And even if it's not, it's, it can be. And then the hood fan area, it's just such a great opportunity to have a little bit of fun there. And I just think a microwave is just like not the best. And it's like, it's kind of also probably is way too high to be put up there anyway. I don't like it. I don't like the OTR.
I always say that if you have to have an OTR for the purpose of just having a microwave, do your very best to have it vented outside. The whole purpose of that is to move air out of the house.
What is the logic behind why people love the microwave over top of the range? Like, why is that? Why do people love that? What are the biggest advantages?
You could combine two things in one. So you could have a range hood and a microwave, which was like, wow, you could save space because now you're not taking up a pantry or countertop or a cabinet, a wall cabinet. You could save space, which is definitely a benefit. These things came on the rise and all of a sudden they're just popping up everywhere as like the next big thing. And before you know it, it's like the ball is rolling and it's out of control. I was putting OTRs in every kitchen I designed for a decade, just because that's what you did.
You may be considering a kitchen renovation. If that's the case, it's important to measure your space correctly. I have a free downloadable how to measure your kitchen guide. You can grab it in the description below.
Let's talk about the other really hot topic in kitchen design. That's the open shelf, and just talk to us about your overall approach to that when designing a kitchen or thinking that through in a kitchen.
Here's my thing. I think open shelving is meant for things that ought to be displayed, right? So it's beautiful when it is, this is just my opinion, but I think, like, generally speaking, if you have really beautiful things that you want to display, then some open shelving on the side of an island or on the edge of, the peninsula, or you've got it, a little area that you've put next to above the sink or something. If you've got like a little area that you've put in a small amount of open shelving and you want to use it to display beautiful things, great. That's awesome. Then you can go in, and then I think that's great. I think the trend that I've discussed on my channel that I have an issue with is these new builds and renovations that are going in that look beautiful, but they're obviously incredibly styled and they are huge amounts of open shelving. And I think a lot of people are becoming disappointed in them because reality sets in and you realize actually cupboard space was really important and you really wanted to hide, which is what doors do really well, is hide things that we need that you don't necessarily want to display. A rice cooker, we need one maybe, sure, but like, does it need to be displayed? No, I don't think it's an appliance that's particularly attractive. And that is what open shelving is for. So I think finding an area where you can display some of your stuff that you think is really attractive and that you want to show off and has, adds to your personality and your design style. Some books, you've got some beautiful cookbooks you want to show off. Fantastic. Style them on an open shelf. Great. You've got some ceramics, some stoneware you've picked up or made yourself. Beautiful. Fantastic. Style it. But I mean, these walls of open shelving or these things that are just like, you've now taken away all of your uppers because they're just gone and they're just like now all open shelving. I'm sorry, but I doubt that you have that many nice things because I don't, right? Like I have a lot of stuff that is hidden and that's where I want it to be because it's not meant to be styled. So and then the other thing, of course, is how dusty that they get, right? Which is they're just sort of dust collectors. That varies depending on the person. Some people, they clean constantly or all the time and they just go in there and clean them. Or maybe it's mugs that you think are beautiful that you want to show off, but you genuinely use them daily for your morning coffee or something. That's cool. And it's like, if you don't mind that and you don't mind giving your shelves a wipe down frequently or washing the stuff frequently, then go for it. But like, I don't think a lot of people do. I don't think this wall of stuff just is used all that often. It's either too beautiful to use daily or it's too ugly and shouldn't be displayed. That's kind of my thing.
So my George Foreman grill should not go on my open shelf.
That's great, but like throw it away. Well, not throw it away. Throw it in a cupboard.
Or probably away.
Well, that's up to you.
Well, what's your take on just corner cabinets in general, base corner cabinets in a kitchen? What do you like? What do you don't like?
I don't like anything. They're not, none of it. It all sucks. Sorry.
Can we high five somehow through
they're all not good.
Internet? Okay, wow.
We all haven't made there's no great solutions. The corner is not good, but like it's either incredibly difficult to get in. There's either these pull-out sort of systems, which are a decent, I guess, alternative so that you can pull out the drawers and put the stuff in and then put it back in there. There's some like decent options, but there's no great options.
I can't tell you how pleased I am with your answer.
Well, what do you, I'm sure you just hate them, period.
I don't like corner cabinets. So instead of doing corner cabinets, and I get challenged on this a lot, is that I block the corner off completely. I just use a 90-degree filler, 3 inches or whatever works on both sides. So as long as you get clearance past handles, you can kind of maximize that space on either side to be more functional. Unless it's a very, very tight corner, maybe then I'll consider some type of corner. That's how I like to do it. Just block it off completely. And then people will challenge me and say, well, you're wasting all that space. In terms of functionality, using the space that's more easily accessible and making that more functional to me makes more sense. So I'm speaking of experience on that one because I've done it in my last two homes. I've never once wished that I had a corner to crawl into.
It's maybe a place to put the KitchenAid or something. I think that's what's going on back there. But like honestly, they're just not good. If you can avoid it at all costs.
Huge thank you to Nick Lewis for coming on my live stream. You can check out the full version, our full conversation in the description below. We had a great chat. Now, everyone's opinions are different, and that doesn't really help you design a kitchen. So if you are looking for help in designing your kitchen, please check out this video where I give you some really great tips on what you can do to have a fully functional and beautiful kitchen.